We wanted to have a chat about the different gender roles in relationships and in this world because it has been very confused lately. I can speak from the perspective of men. I have been raised by a very dominant mother. I have always had female bosses in my life, and I was always taught to be underneath them, and I was always less than them, and I had to obey and do what they said. And I was always having a little clash with them, with all of these personalities, the female personalities that came into a fight. But obviously they were in a more powerful position, so I had to listen to what they said.
Can you share how they were behaving usually?
Those ladies were usually quite dictator-like. They would give strict orders and it has to be done their way. There's no other way. And I can't really think, I can't really involve myself, I can't bring my own qualities to the task. I have to do it exactly as they say and as they imagine. I saw this image on the internet that says, strong men create good times create weak men create bad times, and bad times create strong men. And we are currently, I feel, in this weak men create bad times. You can see it all over the world. The far left is getting more extreme. We get more into this gender neutralization and everything has to be equal and males are toxic. And that's how we were raised. That's how I have been raised. And honestly, also, yes, like a weak man. And I felt useless and I felt emasculated in this world. And I think a lot of men feel this way, and also relationships that I had before were with very masculine women, and it just didn't work for me until I met Petra, and it was one of our first conversations that we had our views on how men and women are in relationship, how we want to live in the future, and it so resonated with me, and I have never met anyone like her. It is increasingly rare in this time.
Say that they were not masculine with the body looking like masculinity or X's, but they were having the masculine energy traits. They were pretty, but they were having masculine energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you have to say to them because they will laugh at you that you had a masculine girl. So.
And if you have these beliefs or if you support these agendas of the far left, then you fit in more with society nowadays. If you have different view, if you want to have traditional male and female roles in relationships and in life, then you are an extremist in today's world. Also, an extreme example is, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that in Scandinavia, it's more normal that women would go into the bars to pick up the men. They would pay a drink for them because men become so inactive and it's so normal that men stay at home and women work. It's just turning everything around the way we are built in nature, and it confuses a man and women as well.
I think the men then they have really hard time to find their role because it's no longer classic traditional families, but still there is traits which we need to listen to because they are good for our overall health and well-being, because it's just nature intended it to be this way.
Yes, back to the roots, how we were built. And I honor so much the feminine qualities which Petra brings into my life. Because she is this feminine woman, I can then also discover my masculine qualities in life.
Yeah, you have to give it a space for the man to do it. I also could do everything on my own, but I intentionally, in our relationship, we had an agreement that this is my work, this is your work. Like, you know, he's drilling the walls or he's doing the furniture moving and so on. I could do it on my own. I did it before our relationship started. But now, because I have respect to this energy and everything around it, because it creates certain dynamics in a relationship, then we just do this. And we started with the little steps and it was working really well. And he could more and more embrace this, what he needed to nourish, which is the inner man.
Yeah. I felt that immediately whenever I could be working in the garden, do some heavy lifting and some hard work around the house. And I see her support in it and also her gratitude that I'm taking care of it. And automatically something innate activates in me. And I haven't really had good masculine role models in my life. So you have to kind of figure it out by yourself. And I think a lot of you who are watching this, you also have to figure it out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we are now in this world where we have a lot of weak men and the times are getting a little bit worse. But we will get through this and we will also discover who we really are again.
Mm-hmm. It's great to give to your man. Every man should have, every boy and every man should have a box of tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of the first boxes of tools you got from me, from my
Yeah.
father, and so on. And
Drill and
we forget about it, and then you can play with it, and it's
Mhm.
yours. And every time we have some problem at home, he just goes there and he fixes it, and it feels good because
Yes.
he's very much supporting the flow in the household and so on.
we want to get back to this family, like a well-functioning family where the man is the provider and the protector, woman is the caretaker and making things beautiful around her. We need both qualities in our life, and it's so beautiful when we can work in union with man and woman in a family. It is so beneficial for our whole life, for our offsprings,
Mm-hmm.
and for the people around us.
We just talk about men now more because we feel, or I feel as well, I worked with men my whole life and I grew up around men because my father used to go and do karate and so on. So I was all the time surrounded with men and I saw how they were in the past and now how they are absolutely insecure because they can't give you compliment, they can't uh, be too manly because it's maybe on the border with stinky and
Toxic.
like also toxic, but visually, you know, they really don't have to care that much about clothes, but not that little, and they just don't know how to grasp it because they are not built to perceive these details. This is women's world. We are into details more, and or feminine energy is more into like focused on details. That's why they see a woman in a nice dress and they don't see that she has pimples and all kinds of things, and we obsess about it as women. So that's really important to notice and to remember that they have just different perceptions. And also, when they start doing tasks, they finish the task and then they go to another one. As women, do everything all at once,
Yeah.
you know, and it's a bit chaotic. And I started to like this energy around me because now we are relaxing, now we are cleaning. I am still doing everything, but I see how bad it is for the body, how I have to sometimes be with him and inspire from him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can cool each other down or fire each other up. I have been so worried about being more masculine and I was so rigid about it, and I just had to find out how can I be more manly, how can I be more masculine, and I tried to do all those artificial techniques, but it's always in you. It always has been. You will just discover it bit by bit, and there's not certain things that you have to do to be a man and certain things which you can't do to be a man. It's about the energy. You are more to your core, you're more in your being, you're more centered in it.
It's not, being a man is not about I'm driving and you are not, or I'm having 20 girlfriends and you are my slave at home girl. It's, and you don't have right to vote and I am having the right to vote and
That's
decide everything.
competition.
It's a competition. It's more about like cooperation
Yeah.
and really building something together than competing and still saying, oh, who has a bigger weenie, you know, in the
Who is
relationship
stronger?
with a woman.
Yeah.
It's not nonsense, you
Yeah.
know. Of course they are faster on a bicycle. Of course they are faster when they are running because they are more equipped with energy to do these things, you know. And we are also equipped with other energy of creativity, and we need to have them do their things and us to do our things, like creating new life and care about what is around us.
Yeah, and as a man, if you see a woman like this that has these qualities, you can really start to adore her and honor her for these qualities, because that will also bring you more into your masculine, whether that be a colleague or your partner. Really honor it, because it helps you to find your own masculinity. And
And
there's no more competition. I was always competing with those bosses and with my mother and with the ex-girlfriends. There was always competition, and we don't have this anymore.
and you didn't feel good in that relationship, in any of them, then, right? Because if there's competition, it's not a cooperation,
No,
which
it's not a
and it's
relationship.
destructive for the relationship. So it's great when you speak it out loud. What you like about your other half, what you appreciate, and what is contributing to where you want to get. You want to be more masculine. You want to be more like in your energy, where you feel you're good. Then just speak it. Like say it. Hey, you created this nicely. I'm happy that you washed my clothes. Or after surgery, he was the one who had to carry her on the stairs up
After
and down.
Luna's surgery.
After Luna's surgery, it's 40 kilos, which is a lot of weight, and he had to carry her. And I did the little stuff, which takes like much more time. But I did like the, taking care of her, giving her the antibiotics and all these things. I say it from a perspective of a lady who studied, who worked, and who can vote, and who has her own career, and who could do anything. And I traveled, and I learned English and everything, but still I came into conclusion that my body feels the best when I just let him do his tasks and I do mine. So maybe in the long run you consider it as also an option for you, a way to play with it. You don't have to go strictly like now we are like this.
Yeah.
Just gently.
It's more
think
about
it.
energy than the 3D things that you're actually doing. Thank you for being here.
And thank you for being you.
This is how Luna welcomes me in the day. She would be cold.